Hello Cancer, how are you? Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Nina, otherwise known as Sinfulpluto, and today we are doing your February-March love predictions. Okay, this is going to be for the dates between March 7th all the way through, February 7th all the way through March 4th. Okay. So this is going to apply to Cancer Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Okay. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm using the Spacious Tarot, by the way, for anyone who is interested. It's honestly one of my favorite decks ever. It's very new, and I have very quickly fallen in love with it. So, yeah. Ew, we got here. Okay. All right, Cancer. What's going on for you in your love life? Spirit, what is going on for Cancer and their love life from February 7th all the way through March 4th? What's going on for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus and their love life from February 7th through March 4th? Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Okay. Alrighty, so two cards fell out. We have the Magician reversed, which is Sagittarian energy to me. We have the Guardian of Swords reversed, which is also the Queen of Swords reversed. We have the Two of Pentacles reversed. Ace of Cups reversed. Eight of Pentacles, and the Nine of Swords. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Tower reversed. Okay, Cancer, what's going on with you? Okay, so honestly, this to me looks like you are very emotionally overwhelmed and thinking very irrationally in your love life. I feel that your emotions have gotten the best of you. I think that your past hurts and past pain and past heartbreak has gotten the best of you. And I feel as though you are stuck in some sort of mindset. You are stuck in some sort of like internal cycle. With the bottom of the deck being the Tower reversed as the overall energy, this to me talks about resistance to change. This to me talks about procrastination. It talks about running away. It talks about kind of like blocking your own blessings in a sense. Kind of what's going on with you. So I wonder if some of you are like staying in certain situations that you know are not emotionally fulfilling because it's comfortable to you. Or maybe some of you are putting it off for whatever reason that might be, whether it's because you are literally comfortable or because there is some other reason, or because it just brings you some sort of anxiety or anything like that. So let's get into it. So Magician reversed, this to me can read as two things. This can read as your energy being incredibly distracted. You are physically in one place, but your mind and your spirit and your emotions are in a completely other universe, other realm. Like it just feels like you're all over the place. You are very scattered. Actually, the Magician can be three things. Okay, the second thing, it could be that you are having a hard time believing in the fact that you will be able to achieve true love in your life. Maybe some of you are trying really hard to manifest a lover into your life, or a stable relationship, or whatever it is, right? Some form of love interest, some form of love. And maybe you feel that you are not good enough for it, and maybe that's why the manifestations aren't working. Actually, the manifestations might be working, but the thing that you are manifesting is not actually the thing that you want. Because the thing with the Magician is, with the Magician reversed, right? The thing with the Magician reversed is that it has power no matter what, right? The Magician will always have power. The thing about having it reversed is that they don't realize that their power is being used to manifest the thing that they consciously don't want, right? Because what you are putting out in the universe is always going to come back to you. So if you are in this mindset of like trying to manifest someone, but then you're negating everything by saying, wow, like I'm really not worth it, this is really not going to happen, like I don't believe that this is going to happen, then yeah, like it's not going to happen. You know, that's what's manifesting, is the thing not happening, is the person not coming into your life, the love interest not coming into your life. That's what that feels like. And the Magician reversed can also talk about miscommunication within your relationships. And if it is a miscommunication, I feel as though you are getting very emotionally riled up, and you are not thinking with logic. You are getting very emotionally caught up to the point that it could really work to your detriment. Guardian of Swords reversed. Guardian or the Queen of Swords reversed is someone who is not thinking with logic. This is someone who has gone through a lot of pain and heartbreak, and they have let it defeat them rather than using it as motivation to better themselves. And having the Queen of Swords reversed tells me that mentally and intellectually you are not in the right headspace, because it feels like this miscommunication is fueling you for revenge or for spite or something. That's kind of what it feels like, and I don't know how I feel about that. Okay, so if this is you, if you are the Queen of Swords reversed, Cancer, and if you are thinking that this person is really just against you and is doing this on purpose to you, right? If you feel that they're going out of your way to make you miserable or to hurt you, or, you know, if they are very aware of what they're doing, really ask yourself, are they genuinely doing this to hurt me? And you have to ask yourself this in a very objective manner. You really have to work on stepping away from your emotions. If it might help, sleep on it. If it might help, talk to a friend about it and ask for their perspective. Ask for a third person point of view, because I feel that with this Queen of Swords reversed, your emotions are getting the best of you and you are taking things way too personally when the person might not even be entirely aware as to what they are doing. And I feel that some of you might be purposely misunderstanding them. Okay, and I feel that that might need to be brought to awareness. Okay. For others of you, Magician reverse could be like the whole distracted energy and also not believing in yourself, right? And I feel like it stems from the fact that you have been hurt in the past, right? And now you have become like this ice queen where you're very bitter and you're very pessimistic, and you let your emotions rule you instead of your intellect and instead of your logic, right? There's an incredible imbalance between your emotions and your logic and your mental capabilities, I guess you could say. And I can see that, one, because of the Two of Pentacles reverse, is that you're having trouble managing both of them, your logic and your intuition and your emotions and stuff like that. But also Nine of Swords is like you are being irrational. And I feel like, I don't want to say that you're doing it to yourself, but it's just irrational thinking. You're letting your anxiety get the best of you, which I understand is not, like, it's not easy to, like, it's easier said than done to just say, like, you know, don't do that. But I think it's important, so incredibly important, to be mindful of these intrusive thoughts, to be very aware of like these irrational thoughts and where they're coming from, and to learn to differentiate between reality and the hypothetical scenarios that you are creating in your head, and then making connections that aren't really there. Cancer, seriously. Because I feel as though for some of you, there is a little bit of irrationality and letting your emotions get the best of you. And there has to be an emotional balance again. There has to be some form of equilibrium that needs to be reached. Okay, and for some of you with this Tower reverse, this could be the whole thing that you are clinging onto, right? It's just like being stuck in toxic or unhealthy cycles that need to fall apart so that you can gain or rebuild a more solid foundation in your life. And I feel that the way in which you are approaching things in your love life right now aren't necessarily the most sustainable, and that's why things need to fall apart. But maybe you are procrastinating from doing the work, or maybe you're just not aware, or maybe you feel that seeking out some form of revenge or doing something to spite this person is what's really going to help you. But I feel like it's really not. I feel like at the end of the day, you are going to still feel like this Ace of Cups, whether you do get revenge or not. I see a lot of emotional depletion, and I see you like really draining yourself of your emotions because your mind is just running a mile a minute trying to like make these connections that might not even entirely be there. And I feel as though there has to be a proper form of communication because your mind is just running wild right now. Like, to me, like, I'm gonna kind of make an exaggerated example, but it's almost like, let's say you drop a pencil and someone doesn't pick it up for you, and you just come to the conclusion that they fucking hate your guts and that they think that you're a dirty person and that's why they don't want to like pick up the pencil for you. When the case might literally just be that they didn't see you drop the pencil. Like, I feel like we might be overcomplicating things for ourselves and just trying to see certain patterns to like put ourselves in a victim mode or put ourselves in a victim mentality, because it's easy for us to think of ourselves as victims than to take a minute to take a step back and like objectively view the situation. Like, maybe they don't actually hate you. Maybe they don't actually want something bad to happen to you or whatever. Maybe they just aren't aware. Maybe, you know, like they just don't have the time or whatever the case is, right? There's so many scenarios. Maybe they just didn't notice, whatever this is. And this isn't just like invalidate people who are experiencing like abusive or toxic or incredibly unhealthy situations in which they are actually the victim. That's not what I'm talking about, but I'm referring to less extreme circumstances where we might be creating certain scenarios in our heads to make ourselves a victim and to like place blame on someone else and think that we're being personally attacked when we're really not. So that sort of thing. So we have the Eight of Pentacles, okay? So this is all about precision, and this is all about work and building something strong. I love the bumblebee in this. This is so cute. So for you, Cancer, what does this mean? I feel that this Eight of Pentacles is really saying that I feel like you need to be precise in terms of like what you see and what you feel and whatnot. Because right above the Eight of Pentacles is the Guardian or the Queen of Swords reverse, which is like not seeing things logically. And I feel that there might be some sense of like not having a lot of precision or just like kind of being very messy about things and kind of approaching things in a very illogical, irrational manner. So I feel that with this Eight of Pentacles, this is really encouraging you to be precise in your approach, to be precise with your information, to gather the proper information, to do your research before you jump to any sort of conclusions. I feel like this is saying, yeah, definitely do your research. Like, really, like, do the cyber stalking if you need to, like, gather information however way you need to so that you can reach an objective decision or, like, objective view as to what to believe and what not to believe and what not, because I feel that you might not be able to entirely trust what you perceive at this time, because I see you just taking things a little bit too personally and misunderstanding things and taking it all like way too serious, and that I feel is really depleting you. And I feel like it's weighing down on your shoulders with this Two of Pentacles reverse, because you're biting off more than you can chew. with that Two of Pentacles reversed, and I feel like it's just really overwhelming you and making you very anxious. For others of you, I kind of see this as like some of you might be in some sort of like romantic situation, but I feel that you might be self-sabotaging things and like, you know, feeling really anxious and like all of this, even though there has been a steady foundation or a sturdy foundation that has been built with this Eight of Pentacles. But I feel that your past experiences or perhaps even past trauma is kind of being triggered right now and you don't really know what to do with it. So I think that if that is the case, then I think it's important to address that. And I think it's important for you to take a step back and kind of go into hermit mode so that you can introspect and reflect on these things and work on kind of unlearning those patterns and learning new ones, you know, learning new and healthier coping mechanisms and approaches and things along those lines. So yeah. So let's get into your advice very quickly. All right, what advice can we give Cancer? What advice can we give Cancer in their love life between February 7th through March 4th? What advice can we give Cancer? All right, we have the Ten of Cups reversed that fell out. We have the Child of Cups reversed, otherwise known as the Page of Cups reversed. And then we have the Five of Pentacles reversed. Okay. All right, so the Child of Cups reversed or the Page of Cups reversed really tells me that you need to start growing up emotionally. And you need to start looking at reality for what it is and not what you believe to see or what you want to see. Even if what you want to see, like what you quote unquote want to see is not the best. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you think that someone is out to get you, that doesn't actually mean that they're out to get you. So it's like a matter of like learning how to be objective. The Page of Pentacles or the Page of Cups reversed is someone who can be very emotionally immature. They don't know how to regulate their emotions. They don't know how to handle themselves and conduct themselves in a diplomatic and stable manner. So their emotions are just all over the place. And it's important for you to learn how to regulate yourself emotionally and know how to handle situations maturely and directly rather than going through like this passive aggressiveness, rather than going through this like really I don't want to say subversive, but I don't even know if that's a word, but I also don't think I'm using it in the right way. But just like in this very passive sort of way where you think that you're being personally attacked. I also think that it's important for you to give people a little bit of the benefit of the doubt before you jump to conclusions, before assuming that people are just out to get you and trying to wrong you or hurt you in some sort of way. I understand that as a Cancer, you want to be able to protect yourself and it's easy for you to go into self-preservation, but that sometimes can work into your detriment and it can be your kryptonite, I guess you could say. Child of Cups reversed tells me that it's important for you to not like jump into this incredibly pessimistic view. Having the Page of Cups upright tells me that, you know, there could be like someone looking at things from like a rose tinted sort of lens. Having it reversed is like looking at things through a war torn, very, very gray, pessimistic and dull lens and perspective. And I feel that it's important for you to create a more neutral perspective. If it's not optimistic, at least just neutral, okay? That's really what we want. The Five of Pentacles reversed tells me that you need to stop isolating yourself and like alienating yourself from situations and thinking that people are pushing you away or thinking that these people are the ones that are doing it. Like, no, you're the one who's isolating yourself. You're the one who's pushing people away. You're the one who is doing all of these things and then you're projecting that onto them and that's just not fair, okay? This is a matter of like not blaming your issues on other people and facing things directly. I feel that it's important for you to really start integrating yourself and to really start communicating and opening up to these people and like really expressing how you feel and having like healthy conversations with them so that a resolution can be reached, and like not just immediately pointing the finger whenever you feel attacked. All right. And there also just has to be a desire on your end to fix things rather than just like wanting to fall back into this victim mentality. And having the 10 of Cups reversed tells me that it's kind of important for you to address whatever lack of emotional fulfillment you are experiencing. What is kind of like keeping you divided, or what is dividing you and this other person? What is like dividing you from you and between what is the division between you and your community, or between you and this other person? And I also think it's just important to stop kind of putting up this facade that you are emotionally content and happy when you're really not. And when you are like, because Cancers do this thing where they're like, oh, I'm fine, like I'm good, I'm happy, and like they act on it, like they act like they're fine and that they're good, and then all of a sudden they fucking explode out of nowhere and everyone's just mad confused because they didn't see it coming, and the Cancer never showed any sign of being upset. Like, how are people supposed to know that you're upset and that something has to be addressed when you're keeping your mouth shut? Like, how does that make sense, honestly? So that's really what I have for you, Cancer. I hope it helps. I hope it resonates in some sort of way. Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your feedback. Give the video a thumbs up, share with your friends, family, loved ones, or anyone else who needs to hear this message. Subscribe, hit the bell notification to know when I upload my videos. If you want to book a personal reading with me, you can do so at sinfulpluto.com. And if you want to find me on social media, you can do so on Twitter and Instagram at Sinfulpluto. All right, so that's it. I love you. I'll talk to you later. Bye.